Ching-Ching Lin. I'm one of the co-editors of this book, Virtual Exchange as a Justice-Oriented Practice, Navigating Identity, Language, and Power. I'm here with my colleagues, Clara Bauler and Ersweetcel Servano. We are delighted to be here to share with you how you can use this book to support your teaching and learning, especially the space of virtual exchange. Virtual exchange is a tool that allow educators to bring students across geographic and cultural borders through online collaboration tool. It allows teachers to expand their classroom and bring students together to learn from each other. But we believe virtual exchange can be a tool more than that purpose. It can also be a powerful tool for social justice learning. So this book, including 16 chapters, including a foreword by Professor Robert O'Dowd. So each chapter represents action research project implementing virtual exchange in different educational contexts. And each chapter explores important discussions surrounding identity, language, power, and equities. So this book has 4 main goals surrounding planning, pedagogy, linguistic justice, and ethics. First, we explore how educators can design virtual exchange as a more equitable shared space, one that supports partners from marginalized backgrounds, ensure accessibility, and allow everyone involved to participate in decision-making while valuing diverse way of knowing. Second, we highlight student-centered and participatory pedagogy that encourage meaningful engagement and dialogue among students. And third, we address language justice, raising awareness of linguistic hierarchies and power relations that often shape communication in global spaces while promoting linguistic diversity. And fourth, we discuss ethical practices, including transparency, accountability, and protecting participants' emotional well-being and privacy. So taken together, each chapter offers a case study that illustrates one of the goals in action. So now I would like to invite Clara Bauer to share her perspective on how this book can support you in your space.
Yeah, thank you, Ching-Ching. It was such a pleasure being part of this project. We have been working together and collaborating, doing virtual exchanges for years now and I think it intensified with the pandemic because it became an option, right, at the time of lockdowns and lack of direct communication with others. So I feel that this book is very meaningful and it brings forward a very important aspect of the virtual exchange because virtual exchange it's not just a matter of connecting, right? It's really making meaningful connections across cultures and people. So I think that this book really highlights that human aspect of the virtual exchange and attempts to provide a pedagogy, right? A series of pedagogies to approaching that. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about my chapter because it's one that I feel more equipped to talk about, but I truly feel that all chapters in this book are very thoughtful and they are all ongoing ways of learning about virtual exchange because I think we're all learning as we go as well, since this is also a new way of not new, but innovative way of doing virtual exchange. So in my chapter, I talk a little bit about dismissed, I would say, an often dismissed modality of virtual exchange, which is the asynchronous mode of communication. I think when we think about virtual exchange, we think about Zoom meetings and face to face like this online interactions, but we forget to think that a lot of the virtual exchange including preparation, background communication, scheduling, the very scheduling of meetings, the work that students do, troubleshooting, a lot of that functions asynchronously via email, text messages, DMs, right? So I decided to focus on these modes of communication for the virtual exchange, but also highlighting the fact that this can also become a main mode of communication. So, for example, this semester, I am making one of my virtual exchanges completely via WhatsApp, via text messages, because some of my partners, in this case in Brazil, don't speak English, and in some of my students on our side in New York don't speak Portuguese, right? So how do you do it? So it's using the text written communication can be easier when we try to communicate across languages like this, when we don't speak, right, or dominate the language, navigate the language very well. So in my chapter, I present three stories through my own autoethnographic lens, making the case that we should um, uh, uh, give asynchronous communication the importance that it has, right, in our daily lives. And one of the examples that is really dear to my heart is during the pandemic, where my students felt really isolated, and they communicated with students in Italy, and they shared diaries that they did during lockdown. So this is only one of the examples that are really that is really touching, that I feel that shows how asynchronous communication can be very meaningful as synchronous. So that's one of the examples.
Thank you. Now I'm going to invite Ersweetcel Servano to share her perspective.
Thank you very much, Ching-Ching, and thank you very much, Clara. It has been a pleasure to work with you. And as what I told Ching-Ching even before, that this collaboration has been a big blessing, not only for me, but also for the college that I'm handling, and of course, to the students under my care. I would go to the general aspects of the book because I really love everything in this book. Our book is about reimagining global learning. That's how I see it. It actually positions virtual exchange as a practice concerns with three big things: identity, language, and power. Looking into the contributions, I see that the contribution of this book is twofold. It serves as a practical guide and a bold manifesto. As a guide, the book provides educators and facilitators with concrete frameworks, protocols as well, and case studies that can be directly applied in practice. It also offers the readers with the strategies to design exchanges that emphasize equity, inclusion, and of course, critical reflection. As a manifesto, it also calls for rethinking the very purpose of virtual exchange. It advocates that global learning must be beyond mere cultural encounters. It means that global learning must confront the different issues of identity, language, and of course, power. The book is also a reminder that connecting across borders is insufficient if the connections reproduce inequalities. This book is transformative, and it advocates that transformative exchanges should be justice oriented. It means that they must amplify marginalized voices, and they must cultivate communities of solidarity. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you both, Clara and Sui. So virtual exchange is already a powerful tool to bring students together, but it can also be provide a meaningful space for global collaboration, critical dialogue, and spatial and social justice learning. So whether you are new to this, whether you are new to virtual exchange or already seasoned in this kind of work, we hope that this book will provide you idea, inspiration, and practical guide to support your teaching. So thank you for your attention, and we hope you will find this book useful in your work.